Hello, everyone. Welcome to twitch.tv/The Onyx Path. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he and they. And I will be shutting my mouth and handing things over to Tom momentarily, who will be our storyteller for the session. Sorry about the delayed start. I've been chasing a gremlin or three, but I believe they've all been slain. Before we dive in, a couple things I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of. First of all, the animal wallpapers and VTT assets have been released today. They're available over at our partners at DriveThruRPG. If you follow the link to the Onyx Path website that I just posted in the chat, you can get links to all of those resources. Lots of stuff dropped today. Very cool things that will allow you to bring the world of Anima, both Cascade and Synestia, to your virtual tabletop of your choice. Also, wanted to let you all know I haven't even gotten the chance to put in a Nightbot command. This is this new, but the Curious Cats of Mao for Realms of Pugmire is going to be launching on BackerKit shortly, and we have a link ready for you where you can sign up to be notified when that goes live. This is the bringing the Monarchies of Mao into the second edition, into the Realms of Pugmire. So head over to BackerKit, check that out, sign up, and you'll get notified as soon as the campaign goes live. Other than that, I think that's all of the paying of the bills, so I will defer to our glorious and gifted storyteller, Tom. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello, I'm Tom, he, him, and I'm very, very happy to welcome all of you to our basically mid-season episode, episode 5 of Point of No Retreat, a Mage the Awakening second edition story. And yeah, before I'm gonna tell or remind all of us about what happened in the first 4 episodes, I would love to hear the voices of my radiant, beautiful, wonderful, exhilarating, and exciting players and give them a chance to introduce themselves. And I think so far, Ren evaded the honor to be the first. So, hello, Ren, and please tell us who you are and who you are playing.
Hello, my name is Ren. I will be playing Dr. Brian Gilbert's local math nerd trying to become gods or better. And once again, I'm looking very forward to probably completely lose anything I was planning to do because these games will take you everywhere except where you expect to go, which is amazing.
Which is right. And we went to a lot of things, but none of them were what I expected to be happening. But hey, that's what we are here for, right? So thank you. My next wonderful, wonderful player is Ipsy. Hi, Ipsy. Tell us who you are and who you're gonna play.
I am Ipsy. I am playing Judith the Judgmental. uh, Information security and corporate security for Helix Incorporated. And she is currently finding herself challenged in the integrity realm because of previous relationships and secrets from her past coming back to haunt her. Uh, yeah, that's me for now.
Thank you very much. Um, I'm breaking another tradition because I think usually I ask Travis first or last who he is. So, Travis, who you gonna play today?
So I'm Travis. My pronouns I mentioned at the beginning are he and they. I will be playing Nancy Nighthawk, whose pronouns are she and her. And Nancy, like me, is very cranky this morning. Nancy's cranky every day. I'm just cranky this morning. But so I won't have to. I'll be playing method. I'll be method acting today. No, Nancy is a cranky goth girl who works in the ad department as a digital artist and is criminally underutilized and is very, very unhappy with her current circumstances being trapped in this hotel.
Thank you very much, and also for putting yourself in this headspace just for this game.
Yes, that was the reason. That was why I arranged my morning specifically to be super busy, so I would be ready to be in character.
Amazing. Okay, and now our radiant morning star, Josie. Hello, who are you? Who are you gonna play?
Hi, I'm Josie, and I'm going to play Eleanor, your local server gremlin, who is also a vessel for religious trauma. Ever wanted to have your sister work with you, even though you tried to avoid her for literal decades? Me neither, but it's still happening.
Yeah, we are just a very big and healthy family here at Helix Inc., aren't we? Yeah, Helix Inc., your glorious uh glorious employer. I think I have to think about this very specific word every time I'm trying to tell you about this game. So if I get it wrong at any point, just don't tell me. I think I lost complete control over employees and employers, but I think it's employer. So Helix Inc. is the employer of our now 4 active and awakened mages who have been with the company for some years. And what Helix Inc. does is having amazing company retreats in all different places of the world. And apparently, there might be a reason for Helix Inc. seeking out remote places and having fun adventures with the complete staff in just crazy locations. And it might be that there are a few will worker within this company who are chasing their very own goals. Like, for example, beneath this beautiful, breathtaking, and very, very old castle somewhere in the Middle European mountains, that beneath this castle, which became a hotel just recently, that there is a certain something that you can feel if you take a certain perspective, if you take a certain view on the world, then you can see that there is power waiting beneath this castle to be tapped into. Raw potential that could be maybe formed or directed if you're brave enough, if you have the willpower to do so, if you have a goal in your mind, and provided you actually are able to lay your hand, maybe metaphysically, but to actually reach it. And that's something a few people within Helix Inc. are trying right now. For example, Holly Patterson, who is basically the head of HR and who had a conversation with our just recently awoken mages about, well, they not being able to leave this place, and that she invites them to explore their potential and to learn about something, and for fuck's sake, just behave. There are some problems, especially in the letter. So, yeah, it's all going fine because there are maybe for some people some superiors they had an affair with, or and are now very interested in what's going on, or they have family members now who suddenly appeared and have made very fast good friends with some important people here. Or, you know, there's just like, I hate this place and I want to leave, but maybe I can't. And, well, luckily for all of us, they're just some very nice people who now see a value in you and your now awakened perspective and power, and who now offered to become a tutor, a mentor, a teacher to greatness and power to you, knowledge you can safely attain only through them. Everything is all fine, right? So it is the second morning of the 5-day retreat. And we learned so far that there is an entry into the labyrinth beneath the castle in a restricted area that nobody is supposed to go to. And that there might be problems waiting there. And of course, our heroes, our very kind-hearted and absolutely not selfish at all heroes decided they need people who are assholes to be sent down there as a vanguard. I am sure that the people who have been determined by a magical ritual, which was kinda held in a in a great hall where everybody was taking their breakfast and lunch, that this ritual was noticed by a lot of people. And it brought to light that probably the most horrible person are in fact two persons. One of them, a guy from sales, and if I told you something else last session, I was wrong then, and I am right now. It was Elias Giannakalis, head of sales. And the other person was a lovely lady by the name of Theodora, and sharing a last name with Ellie. Yeah, so everything is all right. We are re-entering our game as our 4 mages have concluded the ritual. Basically, a lot of people are staring at them because they did some weird shit. And you've realized who is a good candidate according to your definition. So you're not surrounded there is a rather large gap between the four of you and the rest of the crowd, who are shooting you looks. In the middle of this crowd, there's also Holly, who is investigating you with her eyes, trying to make sense of you because she told you not to cast spells in front of sleepers. And there's also Sadie shooting one or two glances at Judy. And I think we can see Sadie taking out their phone, writing a short message, and we hear a short ping as Judy receives a message on her phone.
Find my phone. Oh, my phone is missing, unfortunately. I can't get any messages. Oh, here it is. What does the message say?
Are you okay?
Thumbs up emoji.
You receive another message. We should talk. ... Need to talk.
Thumbs up emoji.
Well,
This is cool. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. No, everything's fine. No, it's cool. It's cool. Cool. Totally in control.
right. Last message you receive is just the word well, like in not a water fountain, but a well.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
one in the court.
Oh, okay. So she wants to meet at the well.
Yes.
Okay, not well. And yet another thumbs up emoji. I should state for the record that Judith is not the sort of person who uses emojis for anything.
Ah, great.
This
Yeah,
is,
you're very much in
this is just
control.
another side of her sort of doing her best to maintain control and not succeeding at it at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So, do you follow the invitation?
Well, no, I will go to the well.
Great. Okay. Do you say anything to your conspirator? To your
My
friends?
conspirator or my
Conspirators, yes.
conspirators?
To your 1, 2, 3, in quotation marks, friends.
Because at this point there are several conspiracies around me. Some of them are less intentional than others. Yes, I will go ahead and let them know that I'm going to the well, and see if I can request them to observe and make sure nothing happens to me. Because I'm not, at this point, I'm not entirely sure that I don't know who can be trusted, but I know these three are at least in it with me.
Okay. Okay, what's your reaction?
Yeah, no worries. I got your back. And then I would like to, if at all possible, uh, like just keep kind of a magical eye in that direction, you know. I do have time, fate, and death, so I kind of would like to see if I can set up kind of an early warning in case something's about to go sideways in that meeting. Make sure that she's safe.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you would basically foresee that? Or would you think it just would happen to you to have an idea, or something would just like a bell would ring or anything that by sheer happenstance or fate remind or make you aware of it?
Yeah, I think what I'd like to do is maybe even like, and tell me if this is like a bridge too far for how the spheres work versus like how I envision my magic. But keeping an eye on the target, I want to make sure that if anything happens to threaten the target's safety, that I would get alerted, hopefully a round or two before that would occur.
I think this is fully within your limits because if we would look at what this spell would ask you to be able to do, it would basically be knowing something. And you can know stuff with one dot in a arcanum. So
Okay.
basically it's a question, is it a matter of fate or is it a matter of time? Of course, if we were talking about mortal danger, also death would apply, pretty sure. But I might think you're not only looking for lethal death traps.
No, I'm looking for the whole gamut. Now, is this something where I can combine all of those spheres or spheres? What are they called?
Arcana.
Arcanum. Thank you.
I think in this case you would just basically do one of them,
Okay.
and I'd say you pretty easy cover everything with this. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I had to lean on one, it would probably be fate, right? Like
yeah,
that's the one that's most central to what I'm looking at.
yeah. Otherwise, you could just argue I am seeing the conversation happening before it does, like 3 seconds in advance. So I will see what happens before it happens, and I give a warning. That would it be how you could do it with time. And fate would just give you an ominous sign to warn you that something will be happening, and you also would get your head start.
Well,
Just a
let's
matter.
do time then. Just because I'm better at it, and B, that sounds more productive to be able to kind of see what's coming as opposed to like, oh, there's danger. I don't know where it's from, but something bad's about to happen. You know what I mean?
Speaking of, I am also going to help along but with fate. But it's something cut and dry from the book. It's just warding gesture that kind of prevents anyone from trying to meddle with her fate.
Okay. Okay. Good. I gonna ask. I noticed we had less discussions, more fun last time as we ignored a lot of the rules. Um, so I'm very much leaning into that direction. I'm gonna ask you if you want to go down this route with me because I am doing a Tom thing and completely uh, destroy the underlying game system and ask you how how stealthy do you want to go? Do you want to be not noticed that you're doing this, both of you?
Um,
Because people are eyeing you right now. People like Holly, people like Carpelli, the now teacher to Brian. Um, so mages are watching you, and it's basically, do you want to go just, hey, I'm casting another spell? Or do you want to have that secretly?
I don't think that Nancy's had her knuckles racked enough to think about hiding what she's doing from the other mages. In fact, she's probably still riding the high of awakening and cocky enough to be like, I dare you to do something. Yeah, I'm doing magic. What are you gonna do about it? So I don't.
Okay. And
I don't expect she's trying to hide it.
Ellie?
I think with how simple the spell is in the book here, I think I could do it under the guise of just talking to her and maybe like a shoulder pat or something.
Mm-hmm.
Try to conceal it under just regular talking.
Wonderful. So what we're gonna do instead of going through all the hassle with fun things and dice rolls and doing a lot of mage math, um, we gonna do something else, and I think Nancy is basically gonna roll um, you wanted to use time, right?
Right, and we have a little bit of time before she's meant to be at the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. So what I would like to do then, if I could, is I would like to write like glyphs representing something like Overwatch or Watchful Eye or something along those lines in high speech in eyeliner on my eyelids is my
Okay.
yantra.
Okay. Okay. Let's do it like this. You're gonna roll your time arcana. And since you're doing something that I think would fall under expression, you're gonna roll your expression skill. And then you add the +2 for high speech.
Time and expression?
Time, expression plus high speech. And wait, I think Gnosis also should be in there, right? I think yes.
And the high
It's a power
speech,
trait.
yeah, and the high speech adds 1 or 2 for yantra. 2. Okay. Oh, I see. I can. Oh, yeah, it's 2. All right. And then 1 for my gnosis as well. All right.
And as you do this, we're gonna take the fun roll for Ellie. And that is your it's a fate spell? Ellie? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Fate, and you're basically putting up a nice performance, so I would argue that it could also be expression, and you add your gnosis as well, and this will be your dice pool.
And
Okay,
I got 4 successes on mine.
wonderful.
So that would be Gnosis adds 2, and then Fate adds 3 for me if I roll my Fate, and then Expression adds another 3. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So, Ellie gets the spell through just fine. It works as you're intending. And if somebody wants to manipulate Judy with fate, they have to go through you first. In the meantime, your painted eyes just work brilliantly. dear Nancy. Um, and as you start looking at Judy and what's gonna happen to her, you can see already what Ellie is going to do and that she's also getting her back. And um for a second, you wonder if they're gonna talk about how Ellie put Judy into do not do this again prison in her dreamscape, but apparently that's not important right now. Um, and it is looking rather good. How do you exude competence in what you're doing?
How do I
You,
exude competence in what I'm doing?
yeah, you didn't hide it from the other mages. And you have four successes, so I think it would be impressive, or at least noticeable for your skill level.
Sure, I would think I'm probably cocky enough that if I notice somebody looking like watching me, I'll wink at them slowly and exaggerate enough that they have a chance to see what's on my eyelid. But I think that because I'm not trying to hide this at all, that like if somebody's perceiving me with magical senses, maybe even my the there's like a glow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, you notice, Holly notices, and she isn't smiling.
Uh,
Not at all.
Good, then I do. Also, what was refresh my memory, if you don't mind. What was the ultimate result of the big ass ritual we casted yesterday, like last session?
That you now have two people that fate deemed to be the most assholish people
Right,
in the
right.
whole lot here.
That's right.
Somebody yet that you wouldn't feel too bad to sacrifice, if I understood this right.
Yep. Yeah, that was what we were looking for.
Great.
Yep. Who's our rabbits? All right. Cool. In that case, yeah, I'll just you know, saunter my little sexy self out into the foyer or courtyard or wherever I would have a good vantage point on the well,
Mhm.
and pop a squat. Maybe have a sandwich.
Mhm. Okay. How are we gonna handle this spell? Because I can't tell you what's gonna happen. Is if you ever have the feeling that something happens that you would have interfered with, you can basically play the stop card.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a micro
It'll basically be like
retcon.
rewinding time
Yeah.
for like a
Yeah.
round. Okay.
Just in this case, you're not actually rewinding time, but you're seeing it ahead and you act accordingly.
Cool. I can live with that.
Okay. As the three of you are about to leave the building, there is another person with you, which is Dr. Brian Gilberts. And your chosen teacher is with everybody else in the hall. And you also see what's happening between Nancy and Holly. And you see that Holly isn't very happy what's happening. And you can see that she is about to come over and probably do something which might not be fun. And in this moment, Ludo makes a few steps into your direction, makes sure that he gets Holly's attention, and gives her a short, reassuring nod, which makes her stop and resting. And then he comes over to you. And he is a few steps behind the ladies, joining you in leaving the building.
Does he have any sort of a coffee or tea in his hand since it's still brunch?
No, I don't think so.
And as he comes closer, I like make the grand gesture like towards the coffee table if I have to bring him something. If he would like something to drink before we talk.
That's very kind of you. But I think we shouldn't stay right now.
We can always take some coffee along. On a morning like this, with a cold like that, we could use something to warm ourselves up. And the caffeine will certainly help think clearly.
Sure. Thinking clearly would be an advantage. A bold move.
Uh, More as the only move we saw at the moment. Even chess players sometimes have to act out of the box if they see nothing else.
I can't imagine Mrs. Patterson telling you to cast in front of unawakened souls. I am sure she warned you about the dangers.
But also, the people I'm with, if I could tell them to do something and they would listen, this problem might already be solved. But alas, they are not under my employ.
I'm curious, what problem are you encountering?
Still the grand puzzle box, no? The great escape room that we still need to solve.
Ah, I see. Sure. And what is your plan of action?
Uh, since I not know better, I will try to learn from my betters and then small nudge towards Capelli and then maybe see in new light that I can uncover more things.
Hmm. I had the suspicion and hope that you actually had a plan before you started casting a spell of this complexity in front of an audience.
People might have plans, but I'm not sure. I try
Hmm,
to make my own calculations and my own moves. But
I see.
they're all capable people and they've all been chosen for certain things and they can do those things better than I can. So I will let them be. When they need me, they shall, I hope, ask.
You see, I understand that there is power and security in sharing responsibility. Sometimes that's a very good thing. If you invest in others, you have to be sure what you are investing in. If they have resources that you need, that's all right. But you need to be aware what you want. It's easy to seek power for power's sake, but then you are without a destination and you will lose yourself because power is to be found in many places. And after you attained it, you must be able to wield it. Otherwise, why are you even accumulating power and knowledge? So,
To understand the power beyond that power. Because getting power is easy, but understanding it and being able to create it yourself.
yeah. And you need to be able to hold this power too. Otherwise, you're just destabilizing everything. If you grasp power, you must be able to hold it. I found what you did very interesting. You basically did ritual magic without any advice how to do this in front of an audience. And I didn't see any side effects, which are very likely to happen with inexperienced mages in front of a mortal audience. I wasn't sure if you had prepared for this or if this was just luck. Right now, I am leaning towards luck, and I tend to not put luck into my equations. If I want something, I take it. There's no trying, and there is no wavering, and there's no, I have a rough idea of maybe something I don't know. If you're doing something like this in front of people and special guests, you must be sure of it.
I have
And if
some
you,
ways of mitigating outward effects towards people that do not know, and I've probably used them, but we must experiment to know where we get. It's not like we're getting out of here easily.
sure. So,
But indeed, we are new, and I hope that Mr. Capelli will help me to make sure that things like this, if they happen again, will be better prepared, better calculated, and less for chance and more for sure.
yes. That's all I'm asking for. You can take anything you want. You just need to know what you want. I am pretty sure if you wanted to take anything within this castle with the preparation and the will, you would be able to. You could, with the right preparation, good plan, and the will to do so, topple anybody. But you can't lack in will.
The last time that I used my power with a bit of doubts, the lashback did take a toll on my body.
As you already saw, there are ways to handle this to a certain degree. You will get better at it. You will be able to handle more backlash. Until then, you have to be careful and use the right levers. So,
I thank you for your kind and wise advice.
if it's important to you what your friends think, talk to them and find out what you want.
I will try to do so.
And if you don't want to take a crown, don't provoke Holly like this.
I also go apologize to her for the scene.
You made a statement. Pulling
Yep.
back on that might make things more difficult for you.
I could apologize for the scene, not for what we did.
This would mean that you didn't have an idea what you're doing. And she would perceive this as weakness. And then acting against her advice, probably. So,
Like I'm back at school, all the politics. If only it was just learning and finding out what I wanted. But it was indeed, once again, sound advice.
I will leave you to make up your mind. And then he leaves. Okay. Nancy is joined by Ellie. Are you two together?
Fine by me.
Okay.
I would assume that's the case.
You take up a very nice scouting position, having a good look over the courtyard, seeing the well. You can see that Sadie is going to there, and you can also see Judy. The way both of them are coming closer to each other is looking awkward. But then Brian also catches up with you. And you're still waiting for both other ladies to actually catch up and probably start to talk. So
Yeah,
do
oh, go ahead.
No, please go on.
I was gonna say, in light of that, I mean, as long as there's no immediate cause for me to, intercede, I'll probably just break out the popcorn and watch.
Mhm.
Think I'd just be as usual, just sit somewhere where I could see things, and as always, have the laptop with me, just typing something to seem busy.
Mhm.
Because that's what IT people are good at, looking like they're busy.
I'm not being coy about watching this situation, like at all. I'm staring.
And you're staring at Judy and Sadie finally meeting each other at the well. Hi, Judy.
Hello. You wanted to talk?
Yeah, yeah. You sent me a text last night.
Okay.
Okay. You told me you were bored and asked me what I was doing.
And what were you doing?
Uh, I I was reading,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't answer me, and I was well. I I thought that there maybe read something into your text that wasn't there, and
I got on board.
yeah, sure. And then you just did that. What was that?
Did what? Get on board?
No, just in with these other three strangers.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just watching right now from over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started a knitting club.
Knitting. You were mumbling strange things.
Just for
Oh, did you
clarification, if you don't mind, excuse me. Just for clarification, did they look and gesture at us when they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wave.
Can they hear us?
I, I, I don't know. Maybe one of them knitted some earphones. Have you ever read knitting instructions? They are a strange language. I never thought I would really be into knitting until I started knitting, and it turns out that knitting is very fascinating.
I am not the only one that didn't see you doing any knitting in there.
We were discussing knitting.
And I don't know what language.
Knitting language.
Okay. You know what? Okay. I understand that you might not want to talk to me.
Uh-huh.
That will be fine. I'm just very worried right now about you
About what?
being well.
I'm fine. I'm very much enjoying my new hobby of knitting.
Okay.
RSSK2P SL1K SSSK S2KP2. Very fascinating stuff to learn how to slip stitches. Mhm.
How good do you know her,
Ooh,
Sadie? How good does Judy
does
know?
Judy and Sadie?
How good
Oh,
can you read her?
yeah, they were hot and heavy for a minute.
Yeah, but did she get good at reading her emotions?
Yeah, Judy's good at reading emotions just in general. And so
Okay.
somebody she knows that intimately, she knows really well.
Okay. Yeah, then it becomes obvious to you that she's trying to hold it together in front of you. Um, she is very upset. Um, Probably a little bit hurt.
Do you,
Um, but she is very worried about you and that you are just not being honest to her is waving tons of red flags and you can basically as if you were Nancy, you could see what she's going to happen. She is going to get back, trying to hide behind professionalism and being your superior and making this a work thing, but basically she's worried sick about you.
do you do you know anything about knitting?
I have no idea what you're talking about. And if you I know people tend to take things and stuff here. I think it's the only moment that Helix is actually okay with drugs in any shape or form.
Not on drugs.
Okay, great.
I promise
If
you.
you if you remember that it would be, just tell before next physical exam, yeah, and we will maybe trace it back until today, and then it's all fine. But you need to get off this shit.
It's knitting. We are
Sure.
all very interested.
Okay.
It's really something you should get into, maybe, if you know anything about knitting and and how you have to slip stitches through the back loop.
Okay. If you get the feeling you need to make sense later,
So you're telling me that you're really not that into knitting, and you have never been involved in knitting
I
with
have
Helix Pharmaceuticals
absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
or any aspect of Helix Incorporated has nothing to do with knitting.
I'm gonna step back now. If you want to make sense later at any point, I would try to listen to you.
I just
But
don't think you're picking up what I'm putting down.
no, no, this just no. Okay, I've stuff to
Well,
do. I
well,
and,
if you have any more questions about knitting that me and my friends can answer for you, let me know and we'll talk to you in our private knitting club later.
sure. And she turns around and shoots a look at the waving brigade and walks away. And before she does, Nancy can see this happen. You can see that she is pulling out her phone and pulling up an inventory list. And she's scrolling through and she marks down a drug testing kit.
That's funny.
And the next thing she does is that she is going through a few files which are basically about industry and espionage and compromised staff members and how procedures are going for that.
Magic, it's a hell of a drug.
Okay. So I'll you know, turn my attention to my companion and point out, I think they think that we're either on drugs, spying for another company, or both.
All I talked to her was about knitting.
Well,
Great Dungeon Master. How fast can one do a spell?
Between a second and hours. What do you want to do?
Okay. I would very quickly would like to cast the spell Isolation for, with space 1, which makes actually just makes somebody very, very phobic of people and thinks they're alone and that they're a bit overthinking things, and yeah.
And you want to cast this on Judy, I assume.
On Sadie.
Oh,
Thank you.
great.
Yes, because nobody will believe that one person that will be there like they're conspiring against us. They want us I don't believe him. And
Okay. Um, it is a space spell, right?
that's
What's your
space
space?
1. My space is 2.
Your space is 2. Okay.
And
Do you want this to be happening overtly or do you hide it?
I want to hide it, and I'm also just like not to put it in range, just like walk over to Sadie and just tap them on the shoulder. Like there. I know knitting can be hard.
Okay. Okay. It is space at diagnosis and
it is my praxis skill, if that changes something.
it does actually change a lot. I actually need to know how well this goes, so we're gonna do this by the numbers quickly. Magic, isolation. You could ramp it up to potency 2. Is it withstood?
Yes, it's a
Yeah, it
withstand
is
composure.
yeah. Okay. I'd argue that right now her composure is pretty low. Usually it is higher, but I think she would have some condition that lowers her composure right now. So her withstand rating is 2. It's your praxis. Potency is the most important thing. Do you use any
I use my
yantras?
the chalk that I found
Mhm.
because I'm always like fiddling with it, almost like a tic nerveux. Like just constantly fiddling with it and just like a lot of teachers sometimes you just the
Mhm.
hand movements like writing down.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay. And then you you have to scale up casting time with advanced. That leaves you with 1 range left. Probably duration advanced.
Mhm.
And if you want to have it last at least for a day, you have to put up duration by 1 step to 1 day.
Mhm.
This will have you end up with reach 2. Give you -2. You add your magical implement. Oh, and actually you have one witness, one sleeper witness, which is Sadie. Within the scene, this is the first paradox roll. You need to spend 1 point of mana.
Mhm.
And I think that's it.
I'm very sorry that the math wizard will always give you math.
Is it okay if I hit the cast spell button?
Oh yes,
Or
of course.
how did this happen? This would be 0 successes. Why?
You rolled 2d10
Yeah,
for spellcasting,
1d10.
1d10 for paradox,
Okay.
2d10 for spell. You rolled 3 dice total.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. I just read the paradox wrong, was confused by was just 1 die. You aren't agreeing any paradox, but you also not casting the spell successfully?
Nothing happens, or bad things happen.
It's actually an interesting question. As you go over to her, and you does it, you do it quite subtle. Touch her, say, what did you say? What do you want to say about knitting?
Knitting can be a very confusing subject, but more it's okay, I don't get anything from this either. More of like tapping somebody on the back of, you don't have a clue what's going on, but neither do we. Like you would tap a friend on the back that's just been blown off.
And you feel that you craft the imago, you can see in front of your inner eyes how the spell will work, what it will do. And she turns around, gets rid of your hand, and looks at you and says, "Tell me again, what's your position in the company?"
I do not really have a position. I'm just there to advise people.
Interesting.
Make sure the numbers are correct.
And as she asked you this, you can see that the fragile structure breaks and you can't finish the spell.
Mm-hmm.
How does this feel?
Well, it would remind me of the talk I just had with the person before this. That it feels bad, but more of like I didn't plan enough and it failed, so more of I failed again. I need to research this more. I need to know more that stuff like this doesn't happen again. I have infinite power. I could topple anything, but something small like this fails, like, without focus.
What did you lack?
Power.
How are you gonna...
Also maybe not enough drive. I didn't want it enough. As he said, not enough resolve.
What are you going to find first? The drive or the power?
The power. The drive I can fix just by doing the things I need to do, really need to do, not just whimsical follies that I feel like it once in a while. But the power will make sure that I will get the confidence to really want what I want.
Where will you find power?
Since I'm but a fledgling with my teacher, Capelli knows more, so he will teach me more.
Okay. You can see him standing in the inner gate, looking out into the outer courtyard, and he is smoking a cigarette.
I will turn towards the two that are still left with me. We'll tell them that do beware. HR is watching us, and if we act out of line too much, there might be repercussions. I talked us out of the little show at brunch, but do be wary. But I have someone to talk to now.
Ellie, how easily are you distracted?
ADHD.
Wonderful. Because within this second, as Brian is babbling on about important stuff, you're pretty sure it's always important if he has to say something. Um, there is like a hailstorm of messages coming in on a channel that I need to know. What kind of communication would somebody choose to get in contact with you?
Depends on what they know me from. If they know me personally as a friend, that would be Signal. If they are from the company, I think the company will use Slack.
It's more a personal relationship.
Signal.
Wonderful. So there is a barrage of signal messages. Where are you? I can't find you. I tried to reach you. Are you okay? Why don't you have Wi-Fi?
Oh no. The real question is, why do I now have a data
That's a pretty
connection?
good question. Why you do have Wi-Fi now?
With that question in my head, could I roll technology or something to see if I can quickly enough try to check where the connection comes from, as in IP and um where this goddamn router might be, if it's a router, and if not, where am I getting this from?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Um, let's do wits plus is it technology? Is it called like this in the game? Uh, God, I've played too many other games in the meantime.
Computer. It's
Computer,
computer.
yes, yes.
So wits and computer would give me 8. Decent enough.
Yeah. Um, you get an idea. You try to check, and basically, you actually have not a good idea because, oh, surprise, an old fucking castle in the middle of nowhere doesn't have wireless access, not by the means of a router. And yet, somehow you're getting a signal.
Signal.
And for some stupid reason, it catches a direct signal from a satellite.
Okay, sat. That's good to know. My phone cannot catch satellites. That's not a thing normally.
Yeah.
Okay. I checked my messages, and who is it that said that they couldn't reach me?
It's Mikael. Mikael is somebody who I am not sure how deeply your relationship went or how deep your relationship went. But you met this person a few times, shared some privacy, and from time to time they tell you, "Oh, you are there. That's fun because I am also there." And try to get back in contact with you.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes. That person. So they just told me that, like, I'm here, like, as well, like in this
No,
place,
no,
or
they are worried because they can't fucking find you.
business retreat.
And it is like it takes 5 seconds and then 10 messages Good Lord, what, just where, how, why? And somewhere in between message 34 and 63, you get the idea that they've actually tried to look at you, like on the globe with, you didn't know what resources they were using, but they tried shit.
If you use data for that, if you can't use local IP address because you don't have a connection or cellular, that could also be satellites. What the fuck is he playing around with satellites for?
Good question.
I'm gonna go back outside again in order to get a decent signal, somewhat, and then going to text him. Are you okay?
Are you alone now, Ellie? Have you left your friends?
Like, if she runs up, I'll probably ask, like, everything all right?
In a while it will be. And I'm going to whisper to Nancy, someone who I didn't know, like, has this much information on me, nothing too bad, is asking to talk to me alone. I suddenly have an internet connection, by the way, via satellites. That's not normal.
Does it only let you talk to them?
Yeah, I just got all the messages. It just all came
Right, but
busting into my
if you're
phone.
still connected, can you reach out to someone else?
I could try, but I will try while I'm doing this. So keep an eye on me as we do. Okay?
Sure. Can I perform or extend the effect that I had going over to Elena?
For simplicity's sake, yes.
Sweet.
Nice.
I will do so.
She didn't even leave your vicinity, as you already see that her signal is going away.
God dang it. Well, since I do not know that yet, I'll just walk to like
Can I warn her, or can I infer
Yeah,
from
sure.
that like if you go too far from where you're standing, you're gonna lose the signal?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
stand here. Maybe get you a chair or a stool to stand on or something.
Okay, and he's asking if I'm alone, so that I think he knows if people are with me or not. So
How on earth would he know that?
you don't want to know how much you're tracked by via your phone, even when you don't have a connection. You don't want to know.
Fair
Ignorance is
enough.
bliss. Maybe just
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll all go walk over here.
mm-hmm.
And then I'll grab my associates who are nearby and take like 2 steps over that direction.
I'm gonna text Mikhail. I'm alone now.
Another barrage of messages boiling down to, I'm so worried. What's happening? Where would this retreat go to? Why don't they allow you to have Wi-Fi?
It's an old castle.
Okay, old castle, where?
I never got a clear detail from you, Tom, but one would assume that we know, even if we're not going to specify it now, what country we're in, considering like flights and transportation. Like, what's the closest location that I know?
I think it would be actually interesting if you were like more in Eastern Europe,
Okay.
more close to the Balkan.
Oh. I'm going to disclose to him the last name of a location that I remember.
Do you have a picture?
I can try to take one. I'm going to just try to quickly like snap a photo of approximately where I am.
Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Not at all. Can you actually send me like a location?
Location sharing is a thing. That's true. I could try to activate it and see if I can share my coordinates.
Did you did you don't need instructions on how to do this, right?
No, but I'm it's like I'm trying to. I'm texting him and I keep pressing the share location button.
Is
See
it
if it
working on your
works.
end?
Don't think it is.
Okay. What the fuck?
So
I can't find any visual things. I can't confirm your location by coordinates or by by signal backtracking or by just you taking these photos. And I tried to do an image search or anything like this. You, if I wasn't talking to you, I'd assume your phone just died. And you were like nowhere, maybe in space.
well, I think I know why, and it doesn't surprise me that it's that way, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay, because wait, let me check something just out of curiosity. Takes a few moments. I just checked your socials. You don't exist anymore.
Okay. Can you, what's Nancy's full name again?
Her last name's Nighthawk.
Can you check on any socials for one Nancy Nighthawk, God Girl?
Sure. Nada.
Can you check for any research papers written by Dr. Brian Gilbert? Will have to do with mathematics.
Not really my strong suit, but no, can't find anything.
Fuck! Oh, it's happening. It's happening. It's Mikael.
Yes.
This retreat was only meant for just a little while. If I do not come back, I am not gone missing. I am dead.
What the fuck?
I have accidentally got myself into something that I didn't want to, but it happened. And now I cannot leave this place. It's a wonder I had a connection at all. I don't know how you did it. I presume you did it.
I just got the notification that you're online.
Got an oh. I don't know what happened or what is happening, but it's a satellite connection for some reason. I also don't know how.
Can we look back through time to see when she got signal?
Yes, you can. Do we want more math magic, or do we just...
I'm fine with handling it narratively if that's what you prefer.
Okay. Because I think you can... It is pretty much just walking back a few minutes in time. And you realize the connection started to come up as Ellie put the spell on Judy, which was a...
Fate spell.
And what kind of fate spell?
It was warding gesture.
Yes. A fate warding spell.
Can I try to work one of those on my phone?
You can sure try. I'm probably gonna hurt the game more by introducing this idea now, but
No.
as you are realizing what might be going on, and pointing attention towards it, you can basically see that the signal is getting fainter that Ellie is receiving right now. But you can cast a warding spell of fate on your phone. And at this point, you're pretty sure it seemed easy enough what Ali did. You can probably do the same. And you feel the resistance that's coming up now. You feel that there is a spell that you are going to work against.
Do I notice any of this?
You can basically see that your Wi-Fi connection icon is starting to blink and then just being gone.
But do I notice the magic?
If Nancy isn't hiding it, yes.
No, I'm not. In fact, I'm probably using high speech to drive
Then
it
it's
home.
fucking obvious. Okay. It is basically I forgot all the words. It's not a duel, it's what's
Clash
it
of
called?
Wills?
Clash of Wills, right. So you take your fate, and I take my fate,
Okay.
and you add your gnosis, and I add my gnosis, and we will see who yields the higher results.
I bet you it's not me.
I have a very horrible track record with rolling dice, so I wouldn't be surprised if you were.
Oh shit, I accidentally rolled something. I didn't mean to.
No,
Oh,
I think
no.
I might have rolled it for you, perhaps, because I had your character selected. Maybe is that how that works on this? Can I?
You
I
can
think yes.
probably use other characters to roll, yes. Okay, I got my results. It's not looking too bad for me.
Yeah, I got nothing. Big ball of nothing.
Okay.
In fact, I got 2 1s and a 7. So
you try to craft your spell. You try to align the strings of fate. And it's not only like they are getting loose, they're running through your fingers. No, they are reforming into like a wall that is warding you off from everything. It is a massive bulwark, a bastion that is going around and through the entire castle. And
Excuse me.
you're kind of reminded of your experience that you had as you returned with Ali from the mining shafts. You realize that there has been a defense mechanism put into place that is covering the whole area. You didn't go into details about that, but you have the feeling you're encountering the very same thing now.
I'll say to Ellie, I think whatever's warding this place off might have like self-corrected once you pierced the veil around us.
What did you do? Did you do something?
I tried to do the same thing you did, but to my phone, and ran up against a wall. I think this either this magic itself is smart. Like I don't know if there's magic AI. Maybe that's what's doing it, or somebody's paying attention. And when we're doing spells that might break us out of here, they're throwing up walls in our way.
I don't like it when my firewalls are magical. I don't know anything about that. So, okay, the warding. Okay, why not? Why not try, I guess? And I'm gonna try to do the same thing, but my pool is 2 dice bigger, so maybe it will work.
Okay.
Because
Try.
what's the harm, right?
Judy, you are in between the two of them. You noticed that Ali received a bunch of messages and was for a brief moment able to communicate with somebody outside of the castle. And apparently, to what they have been telling Ali, you don't exist anymore. Or at least Brian, Ali, and Nancy don't exist anymore. Before Ali could ask about you, Nancy did something to her phone to probably gain the same results to be able to reach outside, but then everything basically stopped working. So, and you're in the middle of that as Brian is going to walk away after a fruitless encounter with Sadie.
Okay, so what did you? Okay, Gnosis and
Gnosis and Fate.
all right. That's at least something, and you never know. Because life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Surprise, it's paradox.
Um, what do this dice say?
But what
How many successes?
I have one.
Very nice. How do you feel if you encounter something that's so much more sophisticated than your own abilities?
Someone upgraded from Windows Defender to something that I don't know, and I don't like it. But something new means new exploits. I guess that's something to keep me busy. At least I know that there's just not a lack of connection. There is something keeping us from it. If it's such a big thing, then like just as we know that if you spend a lot of like mana or magic, if it's big, people will notice. Why can't we notice where the big magic firewall is coming from?
Good question. Maybe because you didn't look directly at it.
Look directly at it.
Yeah. You also get the very strong impression that this was the spell that you and Nancy encountered as you came back from your awakening. You
Okay.
are basically watching the firewalls of this entire thing. And now you have a very, very good impression of them. And you would be able to ask a few questions in a few minutes if you want to take a closer look.
Yes.
Wonderful. We shall return to this in a minute. And before we're gonna leave for a very short break, we see Brian arrive at Ludo. And Ludo looks at Brian and says, "Ready for lesson 1?"
Yes, it is time to me to get a handle on this gift I've been given.
Wonderful. And we shall return to this in a hot minute.
Excellent, everybody. Hang tight. If you're watching this live, just hang out for a few moments. We'll be back shortly. If you're watching this pre-recorded, just fast forward till you see our pretty faces again, and we'll be back then. See you real soon. Just one moment. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to twitch.tv/The Onyx Path, where we are going to be completing this episode of Mage the Awakening, Point of No Retreat. I will be handing the reins back over to our glorious keeper of stories, Tom Murr, momentarily. But before I do, just a couple things I wanted to make sure that you know. Once again, I would like to point your attention to the monarch or the Curious Cats of Mao backer kit. It is the Realms of Pugmire edition for Mao. It's going up on backer kit. You can go over to the link I've thrown in the chat to sign up now so that you get an email notification as soon as the crowdfunding campaign goes live. It looks to be a very, very exciting, very cool update to bring the monarchies into the current edition of the new edition of Pugmire. So definitely check that out. Also wanted to remind you that a whole ton of Trinity Continuum Anima resources came out today over at Drive-Thru RPG. There's a full list of those with links over at the Onyx Path website. That's all that I needed to cover for the moment. So, Tom, please, the floor is once again yours.
Thank you very much. We were leaving as Brian and Ludo were meeting underneath the arch of one of the gates. And they decided it is time for the first lesson for Brian to learn. Ludo is wearing his usual professor's attire, brown trousers, brown jacket, white shirt beneath that, the vest. He is not a person who carries a walking stick, but it would fit him well. And he wears not polished leather shoes, but boots with a rather well-defined profile, as if they were meant to walk not only pavement. He looks you up and down and says, "Okay, Brian, we might need to take a few steps. Can you do this in your attire?"
They're only clothes. If they get dirty, they get dirty.
Right. Okay, join me.
I didn't really pack any walking gear with me.
And he looks at you and then he says, "Well, I think you you would like this." And he leads you towards the chapel. This very special place that's like a focus of the whole castle, at least at the surface level, where all the lines align and where the ceiling is a half globe, and if you light a few candles, they just let the whole they just bath the whole place in light. And he gets to the door. He knocks at it. And then he opens the door. And on the other side, there's still the chapel, but there is no light. But it's also not complete darkness. You know that there should be surfaces, you know there should be walls, and in a way there are boundaries. And as he enters, you can realize that he is stepping on the ground. Yet it's not like you can see it. You just know. You're about to enter. How does this feel for you?
I feel that I can walk there, and as I see that he walks there, I will also walk there. There is no reason for me to doubt, as I have proof, and I know that I can walk there.
Yes. Yes, you can. There is, in a way, substance. There is a location, and you are at this location, and you are in a relation to Ludo and to the door. And you can make this distance larger or smaller by moving. That works. That's reliable. Ludo nods as he sees you doing this. Well done. Follow me. And he walks further into the depth of the chapel, of this new place that starts to make sense in a weird way around you. Boundaries are pushed a little bit further. And at first you have the feeling that you and Ludo, you are alone here. But that's not entirely true. You realize that there's a third thing that starts to be in relation to you, and that this distance is growing smaller and smaller, and then it's like being able to see it. You realize that this really has meaning. There is interest in you. There is curiosity for you, and that's something that you can see.
Try to focus on Ludo, and try not to speak first, but first I will try to not exactly see, but grasp my surroundings more. Not trying to like exactly focus my eyes or try to get adjusted to the dark, but more of a see more than I can see. I know those things are there. I know that there is something. It's not a guess, it's not a maybe. They are there. I
But
just
why?
want to see more clearer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Why do they matter?
Because my teacher brought me here to learn.
Yeah, but
He didn't do this for nothing. He stopped here, waited here, and something else came. So either he does not know that it is there, or it is there because I needed to learn. Maybe this is the first lesson. I need to do something. I can't just wait and hope something happens.
that's right. There's also the source of the curiosity.
Mhm.
This is something that you realize that is important here. Why would anything else matter?
How else can I learn?
Okay.
Cu-
You, as you as you try to decipher your surroundings in a way that they could convey something to you, like knowledge or an experience from which you could extrapolate a learning outcome. It is, what's your most important research method?
Trial and error.
Do you use computer simulation for this? Or,
More of
or
the to put it a bit stupidly, the Sherlock Holmes method of seeing it out in your brain, calculating it, but all out of your head. Dr. Gilbert's can barely use a phone. Let's stand a computer. He writes his own teaching books by hand.
so what you start to see is like a large a cloud of a thunderstorm. And without noise, you can see electrical jolts jumping from one dark center of the cloud to another and lighting them up. And as you concentrate on them, it's like watching a neurosystem with the individual cells sending signals around. And on one of these neurocells, there is this burning curiosity for you.
From me or
For you,
towards towards
towards
me?
you, there's a curiosity directed at you.
I try to respond with my own curiosity. I try to mimic the way I can see it and try to recreate it towards whatever may be there. Because I am curious, extremely.
And you see that is starting to draw a circle, walking um, from nerve to nerve, walking on the electrical jolts on the cloud, coming closer to you. And whenever it tips a knot in the cloud, it flares up for a second. And it's like it's developing a new idea that just lights up for a brilliant millisecond and goes away. Fascinating, isn't it?
Is studying me.
Hmm?
I have the feeling that it is studying me.
It is. It is a creature of learning. It's accumulating knowledge and understanding and tries to get a grasp of things that are beyond all of its senses, just like we are, trying to give it form in our minds, trying to translate what we see into something our brain actually can imagine.
I will ask Capelli softly, like I don't expect my words to come out in this space. But if they do, I will ask him what my course of action should be, because I don't want to try to learn things or experiment with things that I have no, without knowing what could happen. Because he brought me here, he might know more. He could help. And help is always good when you need to learn.
There is always something between us. You are not me, I am not you. We can try to convey who we are, but we will never be able to do it fully. To truly learn means to leave your boundaries behind and become one. As I said earlier to you as I visit you in your dreams, what you experienced, what is known as the awakening, is basically just a lesser form of the lie. You get a fractured picture, but it's more fractured as you think. We saw this, and we saw it in its complete and entire brilliance for a short moment. And even then, we saw it through a lens which was imprinted into us by the flawed means of our awakening. You wrote your name into a watchtower. If you ask anybody, they will tell you there are 5, which is also a lie. In the way that there are 5, but 2 additional ones. The 7th is the one they are keeping away from us by binding us to one of the first 5, limiting our perspective, trying to keep us away from what is true. And there's only one way to close the gap: by becoming one with what you want to understand. And we have only one way to take something completely in, make it to something of us. We need to consume. And as you're thinking about this, we will have a look at our trio of mages who are, I think we have been very vague about where you actually are. Maybe take a look at our wonderful map and tell us at which location you're standing right now.
Um, I think we said it was somewhere around the courtyard because in order to have satellite, you need to have a view of the sky.
Yeah.
So if you can see my cursor on the map, I'm making a circle like around maybe here somewhere that's a courtyard or
Yeah, you are on the
something of that.
very outer side, very close to the restricted area.
Yeah, I don't think we've had any cause to move.
Yeah, okay. So you're basically in the outer ring of the castle. There's actually two additional layers of walls between you and the actual outside, but you could you could look at the restricted area. You can have a look on through one of the heavily defended gates, at least in the past, and a drawing bridge out to the parking lot. And behind you is the moat, and you can walk through the clock tower back into, yeah, the inner parts of the castle where basically the rest of the company is probably trying to get rid of the crazy things they saw you doing, and now try to get back to having a nice drink, join games, do something fun, you know?
You'd
Solve
mentioned
Yeah.
some riddles.
you'd mentioned those gates being heavily guarded in the past.
Yeah.
How so? Like, what sort of protections were on those gates?
So they start with a drawing bridge, and then there is a metal shutter,
Okay.
uh, words. It's basically bars that you can lower. Then you have um, a no, basically double-sided gate is, well, double wing gate is between drawing bridge and the bars. And then there is a room in which you could hit people and pour hot oil or anything other very nice on them from top. And then there's another double-winged gate which will lead into the courtyard that you're in right now. So it's basically a fortified murder hole.
Right on.
Okay. You just realized that you're looking probably at one of the heaviest defenses that this whole operation has to offer, and which is keeping you from having contact to a satellite or any other form of long-range communication.
Can we get on top of the walls? Like, is there an access to the like the? I assume there's some sort of walkway.
Yeah, sure, you can. It's actually a pretty nice place. If you go up there, it's windy, but where isn't it windy in this castle? Um,
It's windy in the
and
toilets.
maybe,
Get a nice
hopefully.
breeze.
And if you get up there, you have a very nice view. There's so many mountains, and you can see down a nice valley. And if you if you know with an idea of what to look out for, have a good look around you. You can see the weavings of this impressive spell, which, yeah, is you're pretty sure a fate spell.
Hmm.
And it's large. It's fucking large.
You said I could ask some questions about it
Sure.
because I was
Yeah.
looking into it.
Yeah.
Um, can I locate the place where it draws power from, like just like a direction? And is
Mm-hmm.
it going towards the castle into the ground?
Very good question. So basically, you are investigating a mystery. And we remember that I'm very firm in these rules. And what we're going to do is you're going to roll Fate and Gnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I don't know, do you do anything fun else? How does it look like as you are
Um,
investigating this? You're trying to read the spell. You try to get to find its power source and other fun details. How does it
mhm.
look like?
Well, since one of my aspirations is wanting to find answers to things that are currently unexplained for no good reason, unexplained, like the whole fixing gaps in history and all that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be pretty obsessive about this and like how people are with the Apple Vision Pro currently like doing this and all the weird things.
Yeah.
That, but not necessarily any magic involved to make it real, but just like for my own brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
So my gnosis and my fate,
Yeah.
that is two successes.
Wonderful. Okay. First, very obvious information. It is a fate spell. We knew this already. We also know this is a defensive spell, and it does have at least two functions. One of them, you can guess it's probably prohibiting you from using fate magic in a way that would pierce it.
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted to know where the power source of this spell is, or like the plug that one could pull or anything like this, or if there's a connection deep down. And the answer is there is no connection to the ground. Actually, you're trying to really get an idea on how large the spell is. And it's more like a capsule that is surrounding the castle and it's going into the ground, but it never gets contact to the power source. It originates from the keep where
Mm-hmm.
the higher ups are having their sleeping quarters. There is still more to learn about this spell. You are pretty sure, and you're not alone. What are your friends doing?
Can I use? I have two space spells.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use the outward and inward eye to sort of sense the boundaries of the spell or the focal, like the center focus of the spell, like where it's originating from?
I am pretty sure that you can, yes. And
Okay.
you would get pretty much the same information for this as Ellie does. The
Okay.
spell encapsulates the castle and a little bit of the surrounding area. It also does surround in a way the core, but it never touches, and you're pretty sure its source is the keep. So
Okay. Then I have locate object as well.
mhm.
Um, so I guess I'm just trying to find using that or the outward and inward eye. Can I sort of try and find a place where we can learn more? That's what I'm getting for.
Mm. Um, um, I don't think it would direct you into any other place where you could learn more than your current position.
All right. Here's another question I have, right?
Yeah.
There are certain objects that have more than one center. If you get what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like ovals and triangles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, is can I determine the shape of the spell? Like,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. And therefore you roll space and your gnosis, and we will, since this is the new information, I want to have a dice roll for this.
Nope. How do I roll?
You click, uh, you go into a magic tab,
Yes.
and there you hit space,
Base. Yes.
and
No.
you
Okay.
should be
There.
able.
I think I've got it. I've got it. I've got it.
Perfect. Wonderful. So you understand that this spell uh, is it isn't a ball or a globe, what you would assume if you look at the rough shape, but you realize there's like an empty space below the center that is actually excluded from the spell. It's like the the spell is covering castle and the ground below, and it's basically wonderful and complete towards the outside. So there is, whoop, it's like a bubble from the outside, and then there's a tinier bubble within the spell where it can't reach.
Okay. So is this more like a donut or an egg?
It is an egg.
It is an egg. Okay.
And yes, the answer is right. Your idea is right. The inner bubble is around the source, around the core.
Yes. Okay. Good. Now I know where I'm.
And as you're looking at this, somehow have the feeling this this feels like a siege.
A siege.
Yes.
Hmm. I'm going to relay this to my lovely ladies companions with us. Yes, that we are in the Kinder Surprise of of magic spells.
Well, that's surprises me zero. Can I get a beat on when this was established?
Yes, you can. It's also fate and gnosis.
Would I be able to lean in on time? Because I'm looking backwards. I'm trying to see when these spells were cast. Partially because I'm trying to see if there's, like, if I can observe that activity. I want to see if I can glean any information on how to get around or subvert the wards, right? Because when you're setting up security, that's when you're going to set up passwords and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what all three of you are doing is using your mage sight. You're looking at the spell, you look at its structure, you look at the used language, the high speech. And you can look at it with different eyes. Primarily, you, because it is a fate spell, should look at it with fate. But yeah, I can understand, or I could see that you use combined fate and time to have a look at it. So please roll gnosis and time, because it is the higher.
All right. Any other
I don't think so. No.
additions or manifestations? I will be speaking in high speech.
I don't think that this does influence your mage sight.
Oh, okay. So
It's
the
just a spellcaster.
answers don't matter. Okay. I got a success.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know why I'm still rolling as Josie. So
It's the correct amount of dice, so it's fine.
What you realize, the spell is relatively young. It's 2 or 3 days old.
okay.
And you realize it was built up with time. This is, you're pretty sure, not done in a second or an hour. This was meticulous ritual work over at least 1 or 2 nights.
Okay.
And so the spell was done about 2 or 3 days before today, and it took 1 or 2 nights to cast. So you're probably looking at a time frame of 5 days.
So they did. They put in some hours on this. It's not something that we would easily be able to whittle away, even if we had the capability to do so, right?
It will take effort to do so, yes. Oh, I just realized something very important as I was talking about different mage sites. Judy is probably looking at it also from a space. You looked at it from a space angle.
Right. I have space, mind, and life.
Yeah. And it is, you realize it is a combination. There is space magic also included in this spell. So it's probably not only cutting off fate magic, but also space.
Okay. Is it cutting off mind and life?
No.
Very interesting.
Do any of us have enough of that to reach outside of the area?
I don't have a spell per se, but I do have mind 3.
So we could have a fun look at what actually what words, what magical operations are possible with 1, 2, and 3 dots in a arcana. And then we could have an idea what this would be. What does Mind 3 do? You can increase or decrease mental attributes and stuff like this, calm a subject, increase subject skills, summon the nearest or a known. I just learned how to pronounce this word and I already forgot it or again, Agotia, which is not the way English people pronounce it. Basically, with level 3, you can summon a creature of that domain. So basically, you could summon a demon. Goisha. I think it's called Goisha.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure.
I believe that's how it's pronounced.
Thank you. You can read memories and ideas from the deep mind. I think the problem with mind magic is that you need a sympathetic link.
I do, and I don't have that many sympathetic links outside the spell.
Probably. If you find some, tell me. But yeah. So
I have a bad idea.
oh, I love bad ideas.
I have a terrible idea because I have a sympathetic link and I can use someone else's sympathetic link to reach out to somebody that neither one of us wants to talk to.
Yes. I how do you gonna tell that person?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah. All we see is that Judy is having a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
She realizes something. Whilst, I don't know, Ellie and Nancy are still probably probing the spell and trying to learn more about it.
I am staring directly at Nancy while I'm having this bad idea.
I think Nancy will probably like just be going about her business, chanting and whatnot, and then like slowly look over and like even like slow down the pace at which she's chanting, and just kind of pivot over and be like, "Yes."
When was the last time you talked to your family?
Oh. It's a good question. I'm sure last holiday gathering, whatever the hell it was. Thanksgiving, Christmas, I don't know. I don't remember. I blow stuff like that off all the time. One of those wintry holidays.
How's your dad?
Oh, we don't really speak much. Why?
Okay.
What's my dad got to do with this?
He's not here, is he?
Not that I know of. I have no reason to believe that my father is present, right?
You absolutely don't have to.
Okay. Uh-huh. Do you know approximately where he would be?
I mean, I would assume he'd be in his apartment.
Okay.
Why?
Let's try and talk to your dad.
What on earth could we expect to gain from that?
Well, he's not here. He's outside of here.
Okay.
He would be a link to the outside world.
I suppose that is true.
and we might be able to ask him for help, or at least get him to help us. I don't know. I'm grasping at a
Sure.
very
Why
far
him?
away straw. Can't say right now. It's not that important. And I will explain later if it becomes relevant.
Sure. I'm in. Why not? What do you need me to do?
I want this to be special. So take a minute to just gather some ideas. I have another construction site to look at. Dr. Brian Gilbert.
Yes.
Welcome to the other side. What are you going to do?
Well, since we're going with bad ideas, I will interpret the words of a good teacher next to me. I will try to consume what is in front of me, make it mine. Because Capelli says that if you want to grow, we need to consume, become greater. And I will try to do as he said. Not try, I will do as he said.
Ah,
Let the dice make of that what they will.
there is determination. Wonderful. How?
I will first reach out to whatever is in front of me, make a connection.
You can immediately feel it.
And then I will just grab that connection and drag and absorb. That is nothing more than a student taking his textbook and just reading, and when he got a problem, just read more, understand, and take, just like the youthful mind of a child, just absorb and keep on absorbing.
you feel the connection, the curiosity that both of you have, the instinct to learn, to make experiences, to discover something new.
It will
You can
learn all at
feel,
once it's part of me. He will
you
know
can
all I know when he's part of me.
probably, you can feel the excitement, the joy, and then you start pulling and dragging. And the joy and the excitement, they turn into a brief moment of concern and then panic. It feels threatened by you. Uh,
Since there is a connection, he can feel from me, not malice in trying to, like a predator devours something, but more of a this is a good thing. You will become part of me. You will, and I will become part of you. We'll be one. We will know all. We will both grow. It's like stacking one thing atop another. It will be bigger. It will be stronger.
That's what you're trying to convey.
Oh, it's what I convey. What he interprets is different. It's what I believe.
It's what you believe. But it's not what this creature believes. It fears for its life, for its existence, and it fights back. It tries to get away from you. It tries to push against you. It tries to put all its power into a push, not necessarily to harm you, just to get away from you. And if it hurts you, that it's something that happens, but it needs to get away from you. Are you subduing it?
Learning something new always comes with boundaries of misunderstanding, and at that moment, not grasping it, but then you just have to grasp harder and pull harder. Nothing can be fixed with enough effort. The moment that I feel the push, I just double down, and
Please
it's for the
roll.
greater good. It's for knowledge.
Yeah. Please roll your highest arcana in diagnosis. It hurts. It hurts a lot. The struggle is intense. You feel wounded. But then it is done. You remain. It is gone. You are victorious. And you have the wound to tell the tale. You feel now that your senses are heightened. You realize that you can grasp more of your surroundings. The neural network around you is so much brighter, working so much faster, and it's so easy to look through it and no, not to look through it, to put together the single cells into patterns. You realize, you understand how they are in relation to each other. You realize that this is basically just a giant thinking and learning machine for something much greater, for something beautiful. You're not quite sure what actually the task is that this giant brain is working on. But you're sure, with time, you will understand, with more thinking capacity of your own, You feel powerful. The last roll for tonight is a wisdom roll.
That's just my amount of wisdom dice, or
I think it is. We handle it this way. I'm probably getting it entirely wrong. Sorry, Mage players, I'm butchering your game.
you are God. You can do what you want.
I am very heavily inspired by Mage the Awakening 2nd edition. There must be a reason that this is fine. There must be. You will find it. Capelli is happy with you. You've done great. The first step is taken. Power comes only to those who take it.
Thank you for the guidance. And then with a small bow that this tries to be a bit jokingly, but actually just comes off with just thankfulness. Little bow. Thanks to you, Master Capelli.
You're welcome. And power is never free. It's always in the hands of somebody else. And with this, and a very fun ritual at the horizon, it is time for us to say goodbye for tonight. And thank you so much for sticking with us and all our rules breaking and all our fun, as I'm just being messaged, a happy om nom 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 of souls. And if you already know to whom Professor Dr. Ludo Capelli's allegiances are, I am happy for you. Have 2 Mage dollars. So
Put them in the gotcha machine.
yes. Yeah. This was very, very fun. And all I have to do is to give my lovely, lovely players the opportunity to remind us who they are. And we're gonna start in the reverse order with Josie.
Hi, I'm Josie, they, them. I played Ellie, connoisseur of loyalty cards and not connoisseur of magical firewalls. Um, I don't know what is happening. And of course, the X showed up because the X always shows up. We need some drama. Ellie needs some drama. Um, yeah, what? And I'll pass it on to Travis.
Hi everybody, I'm Travis. He, they. When I'm not running games or playing them, I'm writing them. I will be back on the channel later tonight. I'll be back here at 9 Eastern for Scarlands Sins of Shelzar. If you haven't been watching, now's a great time to hop in because they're in the middle of a dungeon crawl, and that might be their last one. So pop by if you can. I just want to remind everybody, speaking of fantasy games, that you can go right now to head over to BackerKit and sign up to be reminded when the Curious Cats of Mao goes live on crowdfunding by BackerKit. I'll put that link there in the chat. And that is it for me.
Thank you. Ipsy.
Am I muted? No, I'm not muted.
Not anymore.
So hey, I'm Itzy Lee. I don't have anything to promote at the moment because I'm on rotation for work. Other than maybe if you like your relatives in who are disabled or in in elder care, go visit them because grandma really likes it when you come by to see them, see her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Ren.
Hi, my name is Ren. I played Dr. Brian. I swear I'm not a Tremere Gilberts. Even I can't believe myself in that point anymore. Maybe Cappadocian, because no souls. But, well, I was going to be a math nerd. Apparently now I'm just going to become a soul eater.
Huh,
That's the price for knowledge.
there
If you
always is.
if you can't make sacrifices, the world will stagnate and we will lose everything. But once again, I had a lot of fun and can't wait for the next time. I'll make sure that I didn't eat anything beforehand so I can consume more.
Oh God, please eat. Because I gonna be not here for the next session, so we probably gonna see each other back in 4 weeks, I guess. So sorry in advance, but at this point, I think this is our ordinary schedule.
Monthly. Well, and I also do want to make sure that the audience is aware, due to some scheduling kerfuffles with the YouTube, we just put our first episode of this live, and it'll be going live weekly hereafter. So you can catch up over on YouTube. If we got a month of downtime between now and the next session, so you got plenty of time to catch up on the episodes so far.
Thank you. This is a pretty good idea. Yeah, I am Tom Murr. If you want to see me do more stuff, I am gonna run a short running campaign of Vessen in March every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Europe time, as I call it. And you can find me over at startplaying.games with my handle Tom Murr. And yeah, it's a game I can't I can't get more rules wrong because it has much fear. So if you're coming for rules breaking, expect to be disappointed. But everything else will be probably the same or better. I don't know. Yeah. So happy to have been here. Happy to see you soon again, and wish you a wonderful, wonderful February. Have a nice time and bye.
See you later, everybody. Hang out. We're gonna raid Bunny. Go ahead and make sure you show her some love when we get over there, and we'll see you again real soon.
Bye.